How's it going, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to correctly load paper into your HP OfficeJet Pro printer. Now, this applies to all HP OfficeJet Pro printers. If yours looks like this, they have loads of different numbers. This is the 8124E, but this applies to the 22E, the 32E, 35E, the 30E, all of them. So let's get straight into it. To install your paper, it's very simple. This is the paper tray at the bottom. This is a bottom feeding printer. We want to get our fingers down at the bottom and actually carefully pull this out until you can feel it have a bit of resistance. Now, this is what it looks like with paper installed. So I'm just going to take it out quickly. Now, this is actually quite a special paper tray. Sometimes when you first get this paper tray, when you get this printer, the paper tray comes closed like so, which makes it actually impossible to install any paper that isn't this big. So I recommend, first things first, if you're installing your standard A4/letter paper, is to push on just one of these paper guides and open it the full way. Now, the next thing you'll notice is actually this can extend. So let's say you're installing some extra long paper, you push this down and you can pull it outwards. And then I guess you'll have your 8.5 by 11 or sorry, 8.5 by 14. Now, I personally don't use that paper, but let's say you do, then you can use that. Now, to actually close this, you definitely want to use two hands. You squeeze on one here, hold on the other, and just push it together. I'm just going to do that quickly. Now, all paper practically gets installed the same way. I recommend installing about this much at a time. You can actually probably fit a little bit more, but I don't recommend overdoing it as it can cause some complications with the printer. What you want to do is you want to just slide it in there all the way until you feel a bit of resistance at the back. Now, this paper in this printer actually goes a bit further forward than you might expect. Okay. So you'll notice that actually, unlike other printers, for letter paper /A4, it doesn't actually touch the end. It should be in front of or just around about this line here for A4. So this looks to be installed correctly. Now, the last thing we want to do is make sure the paper guides are adequately guiding the paper in. And to do so, it's very simple. We just have to push these in. You can see when I push one side, it adjusts the other side too. We want to make sure it's touching the paper, but not necessarily squeezing the paper. And so once that's done, we can see there's a bit of space here. There's not any space between the paper guides. We can happily close our paper tray like so. Now, this is the important part. It should accurately predict what paper you put in. So I had A4 paper. However, sorry, that menu disappeared. If you installed, let's say, glossy paper or photo paper or matte paper or so on and so forth, any kind of paper that isn't normal or isn't your standard size, you really need to tell the printer that you've installed that paper. And to do so, it's very simple. Once you install your paper, you could click modify there, but the menu disappeared for me. I'm going to go to menu, and then I'm going to scroll down to trays. And you can see right now it thinks it has plain paper with this size, which is correct. However, if you loaded something else, you go here and you click modify. And so you can, for instance, you can adjust the size of the paper. The printer needs to know what paper you installed in order to obviously print correctly. But really importantly, this is where you will tell it. Let's say you put photo paper in here, you need to tell it. So let's say you had matte presentation paper, inkjet paper, glossy. You know, if you have your standard glossy photo paper that isn't necessarily HP branded, you'd probably just use the other glossy inkjet paper. And here you can see there are so many options. So again, make sure if you install any paper that isn't your standard paper, make sure you install that and let it know correctly. So that's pretty much that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video helped. If it did and you made it this far, please consider subscribing and liking. It really means a lot to us. If we hit 1,000 subscribers, we can actually earn a bit of money from this. Also, check the link in the description if you want to do things like a full Wi-Fi setup on this printer. Anyway, have a fantastic day and goodbye.